several of the Republican candidates are already in Iowa, talking and listening to voters as the time ticks down to win over their vote. So let's bring in now Bob Cusack, editor-in-chief of our partners at The Hill. Bob, great to speak with you again. So, of course, we're still talking about the debate here. Lots of fireworks on stage Wednesday night. How do these candidates try to ride any momentum or mistakes from debate night into the upcoming Iowa caucuses? How do they fix those mistakes? How do they ride that momentum?
Well, Nichole, this is a huge stretch here. As you mentioned, Iowa is coming up. It's basically over the next month. So this is going to be the time when momentum is key. And Ted Cruz in 2016, he didn't have a lot of support in the fall heading up to the Iowa caucus. What happened? Ted Cruz ended up winning Iowa. So a lot is unpredictable. Certainly look at the polls, not the national polls. I don't think they're as important as the state-specific polls, because Iowa and New Hampshire and South Carolina could totally upend this race. At the same time, Donald Trump is certainly the front runner, and he's got a comfortable lead.
Yeah, he certainly does, Bob. So we've learned that there's going to be another debate before the Iowa caucuses. We know this debate is going to be non-RNC sanctioned. There will also, of course, be another debate before the New Hampshire primary. How will all of that potentially change things in each of the states?
Well, it's interesting that the RNC is basically not blessing these debates. The RNC has been under pressure from former President Trump not to basically sanction any other debates, but people will watch, and it's another chance to get in front of voters. And a lot of people have busy lives. They're not insiders like us. So certainly in Iowa and New Hampshire, they're focusing on these candidates. I think that Nikki Haley certainly has had a good run. Ron DeSantis had a good debate. Vivek Ramaswamy had a rough debate. So he's going to have to turn this around. He had a great start to the primary season, but he has been struggling of late.
And Bob, you really pointed out such a good point there, because I think sometimes we forget that, the average American is probably not watching every single thing when it comes to the politics leading up to the election. Of course, as you know, right after Iowa, there's New Hampshire, which is a very different state with different perspectives. After that, it's South Carolina. Again, different state, very different perspective. South Carolina, an obvious boost for Haley. Are all of the candidates preparing enough for everything that's ahead and all of the different perspectives?
It's an interesting point because DeSantis really has to do very well in Iowa. His top donors are saying he's either got to win it or finish a close second. But because South Carolina is Nikki Haley's home state, she has more leeway certainly to stay in the race longer. And now she has certainly the resources to do it with the backing of the Koch network. But DeSantis has a lot riding on Iowa. If he finishes third in Iowa, the pressure on him is going to be intense to drop out. But for Nikki Haley, she's going to have to do well in these early states too. She's putting money in Iowa. Chris Christie is doing okay in New Hampshire. That's his strongest state. But at some point, the anti-Trumpers are going to say, okay, we need to focus on one candidate. And that, I think, is going to be Nikki Haley. But maybe it's DeSantis. But right now, Haley's got the edge as far as momentum.
All right. So, Bob, before we let you go here, how many of these candidates are likely to still be in this race when we get to, say, New Hampshire and then South Carolina?
I think you're going to have to see some winnowing of the field. Vivek Ramaswamy, certainly if he disappoints early on, I think he could be out. At the same time, if you've got the resources to continue, you're going to continue. But that's been the problem with DeSantis. He didn't have a money problem, but now he's got a momentum problem. Again, I think he did well in the debate this week. At the same time, I don't think it was a grand slam. It didn't totally change the race. So people are going to be looking for game changers over the next month plus.
All right. Bob Cusack, always great to speak with you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.